Why do we think it's so important to do an annual suicide prevention training? Well, let's look at the need behind suicides in our schools and our society. First, suicide rates in Idaho have traditionally been and continue to be higher than the US average. And you can see the line here, Idaho being the darker line above. And there's lots of reasons for this. The rural nature of Idaho and the distance between mental and physical health care, perhaps, the culture of independence and high gun ownership all contribute to perhaps a higher suicide rate. But let's consider students in our schools. And let's say you're a secondary teacher and your classroom is full, 30 desks, 30 kids. How many of those students will consider suicide throughout the year? Well, that number is shockingly high, probably much higher than you imagined. It's 18%. And that number has been consistent over a number of years. That means 5 of your students in each classroom that you have will think about suicide at some point during this year. Now, thinking about suicide is not the worst thing, but some of those students take it a little bit further. 15% of those students, or 4 of them in your classroom, will make a plan. They'll think about how they might do it. Even worse, 8% will actually make an attempt. Many of these students go unseen to us. They make an attempt quietly, and the families keep it quiet, and we might not even know. And finally, 3% will need medical care. We might find out about many of these kids. That's one out of every student in your class, and you might have 6 periods. So you're going to know a lot of students this year who are thinking about suicide, making a plan, or actually acting on that plan. And that's why we're doing this. Because whether they are a great athlete and a great student who are thriving, or one of those students who are obviously struggling, it's happening all over to all the different groups. And we want to be very aware of that. And now, what are we going to do about it?